candykisseih friends. Oh, there's people out there. Hello people, I don't know if you can hear me now, but I'm now tagging friends and all of that from my Facebook. I'm trying to get things sorted so that we can start the show. I don't know how this is working because this looks like I'm tagging everybody. I don't know if anyone can see me now. I am, it's everybody there. It's not 9 o'clock yet. I've got 3 more minutes. So I'm just trying to sort this thing out. And then, oh my God. And then, so at 9 o'clock, I've still got 2 whole minutes to go. There's so many people. I'm gonna stop. Hello people, it's not 9 o'clock yet, but I'm gonna start. 1 more minute to go. Good evening. I don't know who that was, but good evening. Good evening people. Today's topic is your health is your wealth. Now, as somebody said when I advertised it, it's like we all think that we are infallible, we're invincible, we don't get ill, or if we get ill, it's little things like flu. But that is not true. Situations occur and we then start to have niggly little problems, and if we don't check them, they become big problems. And when they become big problems, we then have huge illnesses that we can't deal with. Some people lose their jobs because they have to pay hospital fees. Sometimes they're not in work. That's how they lose their jobs, and then they have to pay hospital fees, which brings a lot of poverty on, etc., etc., etc. I don't know how on my Facebook page how to make my thing bright. However, I'm gonna just, I'm supposed to be at ABN Studios, and all sorts of things happened, so I had to come back home. So I'll be there next week. However, whilst things are being sorted out, hello Angela, while things are being sorted out, we still have to talk about the topic, because next week I'm talking about diabetes. And diabetes is something that is a big thing. It's happening to even younger and younger people. Before, when you grow older, you get all these illnesses, and you get arthritis, diabetes, this, that, and the other, and it's all signs of old age. Now, that is not the situation anymore. So diabetes is a big topic. So next week, we're going to talk about that. The week after that, we will talk about domestic violence, because I've got a guest on. Next week, I've got a guest on. The week after that, I've got a guest on. And then we are going to also discuss the issue that Mrs. Blair, Cherie Blair, has come out into public and is telling people that African women's first sexual encounter is always rape. Now, I don't know, people are getting all upset about it, and people have views. So I'm going to find a few guests so that we talk about it, and everyone gives their views on whether they agree with Mrs. Blair or not. Now, I can't tell you my view now because we haven't talked about it yet, but it's important that we talk. Hi, Diane. I hope you had a good birthday. It's important that we talk about things like that, because one of our issues, I don't want to use the word problem. I don't think it's necessary. But one of the issues we have as Africans is that we are very fond of brushing things under the carpet. Some things will happen and we know they happen, but we don't want to talk about it. We don't want the outside world to know, which is fine. I like that. However, if we're not allowing other people to talk about it, we have to deal with it. But we can't continue to let it happen and then not do anything about it and not talk about it. Because what people don't realize is, hi Lily, what people don't realize is that things are serious and women are affected. And in this world that we're in, it looks like there are a lot of sad women around, and there are a lot of injured women around. And when I say injured, is injured in their soul, in their spirit, and physical. Why? So these are issues that we're going to talk about, because it's very important that we deal with these things. These issues should not be swept under the carpet. However, Mrs. Blair, has she got any right to talk about this sort of topic? And who did she speak to before she made that topic? And who did she actually consult? And, how are we allowing people to say things that we don't say? I need us to talk about these things perfectly, correctly, clearly, concisely. Let us address our issues ourselves. And then when someone says something that you think is wrong, you can attack them. So I've got someone on here who's saying that Mrs. Blair's comment was a generalization and saying most African women's first sexual encounter was rape is a generalization which she cannot make because she does not have the facts. That could be true. I don't know. But yeah, this is a topic in 3 weeks. So I'm giving people the chance to think clearly, if they want to comment, if they want to come to the studio. If you have something to say, let's talk about it. Today we're talking about health. We're talking about people's health, our health, us women. Now, inside of it all, there are going to be old wives' tales. But old wives' tales, my people, are important. Old wives' tales were there to protect the woman. The old wives means that they have had experience, and these old wives know what they're talking about. So with this modern generation, we are very fond of, not listening to what people say, where we think we know it all, and then terrible things start happening to us. And that's why you need your mother, your grandma, but they're dead. Most times, some people are lucky and they have their relatives. Mine are not there anymore, and a host of other people as well. The majority of my friends, their parents are dead. And if that is the case, then we need to educate ourselves. With everything comes education. And education is so important. And if you don't have anyone to say, oh, do this, or do that, or don't feed the baby with solids too early. There are reasons for it. Now, doctors, nurses, and all of those people outside, they can't tell you everything. If you are ill and you go to the doctor, you may have a host of things to tell your doctor, but trust me, and in this Western world, as I am in the UK, I'm talking, I know it's like that in America and all the Western areas as well. If you are sick and you go to the doctor and you tell the doctor what is wrong with you, they will deal with that issue alone. Most times you are being rushed, so there is no time to tell the doctor that actually last week it was my shoulder and yesterday it was this, so that it is a series of things that he can see that, there is a stroke coming on, or there is a heart attack coming on. Because you will go to the doctor and you will just tell the doctor what is happening to you in the present. And sometimes it is not enough. So I know many people are making comments about Mrs. Blair's issue, but today we are talking about your health is your wealth. So I will take all of your comments on board, and then we can talk about it in 3 weeks' time. Everyone will be able to have a say, and everyone, you can let me know if you want to come to the studio to talk about this, or if you want to just make comments, or you will call in. I'm ready for you all the way. The other thing is, today, because we have health on, I had this game that we were going to play and all of that. But because I'm not in the studio, we can't play the game. So it'll have to be next week. Today, we're talking about health. And anyone who has anything or any comment to make about health, please let me know. Make a comment or send me a WhatsApp if you have my number, or put the message on and let's see. Now, your health is your wealth. Now, the first thing we have to start looking at for ourselves is our eating habits. Now, I'm not a medical person, but I'm also very keen to look after myself. And I'm very keen to look after my family. And I'm keen for us all to be careful about what we eat, what we put in our bodies. You don't need a doctor for that. You need to be careful to read a lot, to educate yourself, and to be sure that what you're eating is giving you energy, fuel, all of the things, vitamins, all of the necessary things that your body needs. Now, for us, for example, in West Africa, we eat a lot of spinach. We'll eat a lot of herbs. We'll eat a lot of vegetables. And the vegetables have particular things they do. If you are sick, you will be given certain vegetables. If you are getting better, you are given things that strengthen your system, your blood. If you're a woman, you've just had a baby, you are given palm nut soup, for example, where I come from. If so there are a lot of things. Okra is for if you're constipated, you may eat a lot of okra stew, constipation goes. We eat a lot of pepper. Now, in this country, in the medical, when you go to the doctor, if you go to a herbalist here, health food shop, you may buy cayenne tincture. Cayenne powder or tincture is pepper, really, cayenne pepper. Now you buy it, what you don't know though is cayenne can stop a heart attack coming on. It can pause it, so that you take it, if you have the symptoms, you take a little bit in hot water, hot or cold, and you drink it. It just gives you a little bit of energy. You go to the GP or to the hospital, A&E, you tell them what your symptoms are, and they'll deal with it. Now, pepper is something we all eat. We Africans, we eat it. In moderation, though. You have to eat it in moderation. So all of these things, our ancestors knew what they were doing when they get. So this is where I'm talking about old wives' tales. They knew what they were doing when they added pepper to the food. They knew what they were doing. And in those days, if it is true about Methuselah and all these people, they lived very long years. Now, because of that, we should treat food as medicine. Somebody like me, I'm not ashamed to say I love my food. And therefore, I will eat a lot of it. However, you have to eat it in moderation. And you have to treat the food, even though you love it, as fuel, as something that is good for your system. If you do that, you will be a healthy person. Apart from the fact that we all need exercise. We need to move about a little bit more. These days, jobs are sedentary. You sit down, you get up in the morning, you sit in your car. You get down, you get on the train. You get into your office, you sit down. You go to a meeting, you're sitting down. Sitting down, sitting down, sitting down. It's not good because it means not all of your body is in motion. And when your body is not moving about, that means you are allowing it to rest. And when it rests, it gets lazy. It doesn't want to act anymore. That's when the problem starts. Now, as you go older, the body doesn't really want to do things. So you have to push it. You have to push your body. You have to do all of these things. Now, if you ask me, what is healthy eating after all this that I've said? It is a way of improving your health to prevent disease. It means choosing different types of healthy food from all the food groups. So, for example, fruits, vegetables, grain, dairy, and all of that. Now, one thing, and this is an old wives' tale, and I am not a medical person. That is why I said there will be old wives' tale in this discussion. I want you to listen carefully. Dairy, I hear, does not break down properly in our system. Milk. So maybe a baby may need milk, but you, the grown-up, does not need so much milk. You may need calcium. Now, calcium can be found in certain foods, all the food groups. So if you eat carefully and you know what you're doing. Now, there is Google. You can Google to find out what the level of foods are. You can you can train yourself to be able to enjoy your food, but whilst enjoying your food, you are eating all the right things. And when you're doing that, if you have family, you are sharing it with them. You're feeding them all the right things as well. So everyone is growing beautifully and healthily. And that is what is important. Even for those who like a little bit of wine, wine is good for you. It's good for your heart. It's good for your system. A little bit of alcohol is necessary. If you are denying yourself alcohol and you feel that is right for you, that's fine. Please do whatever you want to do, but in moderation. Now, somebody, I don't know whether she's challenging me on the sitting down, but sitting down continuously, being sedentary is not good. You have to get up and move about a little bit. So if your job is somewhere that you sit a lot, you can get up and go for a walk around maybe your office, the corridor, walk to the loo and back, walk up the stairs and back. Do something, people. We have to be healthy and we have to live longer. A lot of people are dying. A lot of people I know are dying. Even in my family, just my family are dying. And it's worrying. So this topic is close to my heart. That's why I'm talking to you about it. So what you eat and what you drink is influenced by where you live and the types of food available in your community and in your budget. Now, when I say in your community, so maybe you live in the UK, in the northern part, where they eat a lot of fried foods. And this is an example. I'm not saying they eat only fried foods in the north. It's just an example. So if you are somewhere there and there's a lot of fried food being eaten and you know that it is not good for you, the oil and all of that, you can cut down. If the food or the vegetables in that area is expensive, then you can grow some vegetables in a pot. These days, people are growing things in little pots and then growing things on their balconies. You could think of ways, because it's important. Even though I am talking about it like we're having a chat, I think it's important. Even though I'm talking about it without a medical person sitting here next to me, it is still important. Now we think about our budget. The budget determines how much you can buy. So that too, if you want to help yourself and you want to, I'm trying to open up the messages where it says see more so that I can read out Lily's message, but I'm finding it difficult. I don't know, so I can't open up the messages. Anyway, so healthy eating is good. Now, somebody is asking me about water, that if you drink too much water, you'll be going to the loo. It is very good and very vital that you are hydrated. That's the right word. That you drink the water, you're hydrated, water goes into your body, your skin is nourished. Because when your skin is nourished, it shows. You look beautiful. You glow. Water is good for digestion. So if you eat a lot of things, the water helps it to push down so that you can go to the loo and all that. However, too much water makes you go to the loo a lot. And that is also bothersome for some people. So let us be careful how we everything should be in moderation. Moderation, moderation, moderation. So everything in moderation. Okay? Now, you must remember though that vitamin C is also vital. While we're talking about water, vitamin C makes new skin cells and collagen. So vitamin C is found in a lot of fruit, a lot of vegetables. You can have lemon water in the morning. Lemon water is vital. So that is also good. Now, someone's just said you can drown in too much water. Yes, I said that previously. Everything in moderation. Do not drink too much water that it becomes a chore and you feel like choking. I don't like water very much, but I make myself drink it, and I drink a bit of water here and there. But we have to be careful with whatever we take in. If we think we need it, it's in moderation. You can have a warm glass of water with a dash of lemon in the morning, or lemon juice. You can have it with cucumber. You can have anything that it gives you refreshment. If you're thirsty, you have a bit of water with something in it. If you don't like water, like I don't like water, but I drink it. So, you know, drink it, but do not drink it so much that it will remove the nutrients in your body and drown you. People die of water drowning, believe it or not. It is true. I'm very worried about the lighting in my screen today, but if you can see me, then that's fine. Or maybe it's because I'm wearing a dark top or something. Okay. Now, all of this is so that we cut down on diseases, because there are a lot of heart diseases about. There's a lot of diabetes about. And we have to find ways. Now, with diabetes, I have learned that it has to do with one thing that we're not aware of, especially as Africans, because we come from a very warm country, and Caribbeans as well, because we come from a very hot country. We drink a lot of frozen water, water that is really cold. Now, that can affect your kidneys. So we have to be careful about, yes, drink water, but try and drink warm water. Try and drink water that gives you nourishment, that gives, quenches your thirst. But do not drink too much water or too cold water. That is going to harm you. That is, when you eat food, it congeals in your body. And if you keep on drinking cold things, all of that is fat that is settling inside your body. It has nowhere to go. Frozen water is not healthy for you. So please drink water, but not too cold. Now, to the people that I'm talking to, my friends out there, we are all over the age of 30. So it's either you're just on the cusp, having babies, looking after children, teenagers, or even older. You have to look after yourself in such a way that you keep illness and diseases at bay. It gives you a longer time on earth. Earth is good. There's a lot of goodness in our earth that we keep denigrating and that we keep complaining about. It's us. We have to keep it good. And we have to keep ourselves good so that we can, earth and you having a good time together. That's what we're talking about. Now, somebody said water should be drunk at room temperature. That is true. Water should be drunk at room temperature because then it goes down and does all the right things in our system and keeps us going and flowing and feeling good. Okay, now I don't have music, so we're just gonna box and cocks. I have tips for you. Norma says water should be drunk 30 minutes before you eat and an hour after you eat. You don't have to take all of the advice, but if you think that it makes sense, please try it. Try it and see whether it works. And if it does, then carry on doing it. Now, my tips are: 1, we have to zap our stress. That means the biggest issues we have is that we worry too much. We worry about everything. We juggle too much. We make all sorts of, we put a lot on our plate, us and our children, everything, and we're juggling it, especially women. Now, we could take the plan of taking one day at a time, where we try and sort things out gently. We don't have, especially here in the Western world, you do not have help. Some people are single mothers. Some people are married, but are the only, the women, they're the only people doing anything in the homes. Sometimes you worry too much about what is happening around you that you cannot help. You can't, nothing, your worrying will not change it. Ladies, especially to you ladies, take it easy. Now, I'm not saying don't do anything. What I'm saying is, think about what is necessary. Prioritize things and do them one step at a time. One step at a time. Take a step at a time and do what you have to do. And you will find, or in fact, one of my tricks, a few years ago, one of my tricks, and you can copy me if you like. And it's not even copying, but it's just, you can try it if you like. Is take a notebook, write down all the things that you think need to be done, and then tick as you go along. And, instead of worrying about 3-4 things at the time that, if your friend sees you on the road and says hello, you didn't hear or you didn't see. Come on. We have to enjoy the life that we have, and we have to feel like we are part of the system, and we have to feel like we are on this earth and we are doing what is right, and we're having fun while doing it. I didn't make this up. It is true. It is a decision I took years ago, that I'm going to try and do the best I can with whatever I'm doing, but I'm going to have fun doing it. And people say this all over the world. People say it. You go to these motivation places and they say it. And it's true. You just take a notebook, take a pen, write down all the things that you have to do. And I'm talking about day-to-day things like, okay, so I'm going to go to work. Even at work, have a plan. And then at home, when I get home, I'll do this, that. You don't, and you will find that some of those things, you can tick it off, or you can do it on Wednesday. And you can do this here, and you can do this there, but you're doing them. You see, women, we are very good at juggling things, and we are very good at being in order and looking after everybody, the home, at work, meetings, whatever. Look, hobbies. There are women who make themselves prefect, even if it's just meet a few women going to a book club. There's always the bossy type who is there. Look, if she wants to be bossy, you don't want to be, just take it easy. I like going to things where I'm in the background. I'm there, but I'm in the background. I'm going to look for the fun parts of it and do it and be happy. This is how we've got to live. So take your notebook, write what you need to do, and then keep ticking it as you go along. You will see how organized and how much you can do or get through, rather than forgetting some of it because you're worrying and all of that. It's all unnecessary. All unnecessary. My people, it is unnecessary. Now, the other thing that you can do is stop dieting. People, and you know what? And I am putting a challenge out there. People at the age of, say, 35 will go on a diet. And they're not that big. And they will be starving themselves, intermittent diets, all over the taking tablets, pills. And you do all that, and then you hit 45, and you look at your photo when you were 35 and say, oh, I wish I was... Hello. Some of the pills that you took are going to affect you later on. Some of those starvation diets don't work. They may make you ill. So all of these things are important. If you eat right and you move about it, you don't have to go and sign in for a gym. No. Just, look on the bright side, eat well, and walk to the bus stop. And, go up the stairs. Do things that are available to you and see how your life turns out. I know this because I'm trying it now. I do all of these things. And I'm not perfect, but I'm trying. Now, somebody says, be careful about calcium. This is a doctor friend of mine, because these days people are overdosing on calcium. Calcium will affect you, and it could affect your kidneys. You could get kidney stones with calcium. So please, be careful. You can take your vitamins, you can do what you have to do, but be very, very careful. Now, women, you need to mix cardio or weight training or something. So you need to find ways that are suitable to you that you can do exercises with. You can walk, and when you're walking, some women, their handbags, they've got the whole world, the sink and its cousin sink in there. Fine, it's a weight. When you're walking, hold it and walk briskly with it. You will find that if you do that often, it's a whole cardio exercise. You are holding your bag, you are holding your whatever it is, your lunch that you're taking to work, and you're walking briskly. You walk. I've got hills here, so we walk up the hill. I don't do it all the time, but I do it once in a while, especially in the summer I do it. And it's good exercise for you. It is important, it is vital. Because with all of these illnesses, with all of these situations, with all the things that are happening to people, it is important that we look after ourselves and we try as much as possible to do a little bit of exercise. There's a gentleman that's just popped up, Kobe. He rides the bike. He lives in Singapore and he rides a bike every day. And every day when he goes on his bike ride, he takes a photo. Or him and his friends go on the bike ride and then they go and eat Singapore noodles. I see it all the time. So, yeah, you have to do that which is good for you, that which makes you healthy, that which makes you strong. Now, Another thing is see your doctor every year. Now, when I say see your doctor, I'm sure you see your doctor when you're not well. I'm sure you see your doctor when you have some issue, a cold, a cough, a flu. You see your doctor, but that's not it. See your doctor to have an overhaul test. You need to do that. You need to see your doctor to check on your overall health. Women, you need to have a pap test. You go and have a test to see whether everything is okay down there. Because you see, there are some people who never have these investigations, and then something terrible happens. Between the ages of 35 and 65, you should go and have like your breast looked at, that there are no lumps in it and everything is fine. So if you are sexually active and you are seeing more than one person, or it's a whole scattergun approach, then you need to have other tests as well, like chlamydia and all of these things. And it has to be a yearly, once a year, you have that check just to make you feel healthy and that you can move on. Someone is saying right now that basically her friend's advice is to do 4 things. Eat right, move more, sleep well, and chill out. All true. You have to do all these things. Trust me, it is very important that you look after yourself. And that is the topic of today, looking after yourself. Ow, I've dropped something. And while you're looking after yourself, it's very important that you have checks. Check your vital things like your breast, check down there, even your skin. If you're not drinking enough water, your skin looks wrinkled. When you're well hydrated, your body is nice and supple. You can move about more and you can do all of the things that you want to do. So, I thought, we have to talk about these things. We need to talk about them. And as we want to live longer and we want to enjoy the little life that we have, health is more important than anything else. You can have money. If you don't have good health, it doesn't do anything for you. Health is your wealth, not money. Health is your wealth, not money. Okay, now, the topic I like best is one of the best advice that is given. Good people give to good people is to have good sex. Sex reduces stress and it will lower the risk of chronic disease. But only if you enjoy it. If you are somebody who enjoys sex, if you have someone to do it with, enjoy it. Any chance you get. Now, there are people who like to show off with sex, abstain from sex, do all of these things. What you do? What after you're 45 or even 30, after 40? Do you think, who are you proving to that, I don't have sex, I'm not, what's that? Please. It is vital. It is important. It makes you healthy. It makes you feel good. And ladies, it is one of the greatest things if you get a good one. It keeps you ticking. It puts a smile on your face. It makes your skin supple. Sex is vital. So if you have it, If you are able to have it, enjoy it. If study it and enjoy it. Find a good partner if you haven't got a husband and enjoy it. Because if there is something that is preventing you from having sexual fulfillment, and if there is some pain, or if there is an issue that you are not sure of, or if there's something not quite right, talk to the doctor. Go to your GP. And these are the reasons. And I'm talking to all of us who live in the Western world, who are listening to me right now. Go to your doctor. Speak to your doctor. Try and be brave enough to tell them how you feel, so that if it can be dealt with, it can be rectified. If you can have it looked at, please do. Because that is also something that is important. Now, the biggest thing of all of this discussion is sleep. Women have been deprived of sleep, especially when you start having children. The children cry, you get up. And it just never ends. And then also there is this part where some women, their husbands go out and come back practically the next morning. The woman will not sleep. She's worrying about where he is. She's concerned. She hears a sound. She's scared. She's out. She's looking outside. She's looking at... Ladies, you really have to change that attitude. After the children have grown up a bit and they have a good sleep, lock your doors and also have good sleep. You need your sleep. Sleep is vital. Sleep makes you beautiful. Sleep is necessary. Sleep is something that when you have it, when you have good sleep, you wake up revitalized. You wake up and you are ready for the world in front of you. People who have good sleep, they can conquer Mount Everest. So if you do not manage sleep, or if you keep waking up in the night, you have to ask yourself, why is this happening to me? Is it old age? Is age creeping up on me? Am I just going to be having little naps? Should I talk to somebody about it? Should I go to the GP? Now, the reason why I keep saying GP, general practitioner, is because maybe you think if we have become very secretive now, and we are very sensitive to little things that affect us. So we can't tell people what our issues are. Fine. Don't tell me. Tell the general practitioner. That's your doctor. Talk to your doctor. Let your doctor know that I can't sleep. I am having problems with sleep. Because sleep makes you, if you have the lack of sleep, makes you irritable. Lack of sleep can make you go mad. Lack of sleep, and I'm saying it gently here, but you can have mental issues because of lack of sleep. You can hallucinate because you lack sleep. Bad things will happen to you because you lack sleep. You can have a car accident because when you are driving, that is when sleep can engulf you. You feel tired. So sleep at the right time is important. If you do not get to sleep, then you need to talk to somebody. When you are sleeping, that's when your kidneys are doing their thing. Your liver is doing its thing. Your heart is resting. You are breathing calmly and beautifully. And every good thing that your body needs starts working, sorting itself out. By the time you wake up, things have worked in your system and you're ready to fight another day. If you do not sleep, your kidneys will not work. Your liver is not functioning. your heart is getting tired, bad things will happen to you. And now, this is not like, I'm not telling you a story. It's because people don't talk about it like this. And people don't say the things that other people will understand. I am just sharing with you that your health is your wealth. And therefore, these are important things that we have to do. Now, one of the fashionable things that the young people, I have young people in my house, and what they do is called food prep. Now, young people, it's all the rage. It's on, and you can see it on YouTube, and it's on social media. Food prep. Now, food prep is where you have maybe weekend off, so Sunday they prepare little things like couscous and chicken and this and that, or rice and fish and vegetables and all of the healthy things, and they make them into packs of 5 or 10. So instead of going out to a big lunch in the afternoon or eating some unhealthy food cooked by somebody else, they will have the food prep that they prepared. They take it out of the fridge and put it in their bags and go to work. They have that for lunch. Or there are those who go to the gym after work. So they have a pack of food that they will have. I don't know whether it's before gym or after gym. Then there are those who, but you know, these foods are prepared. Now you can research it, find out what you want to put in your food prep bowls. Close it there in these Tupperware bowls, and it's in my fridge. Sometimes I'm looking for somewhere to put my chicken and I can't find, because all these packs are in there. You can make your own food prep. I started doing some myself. Once in a while I make food prep. Today, for example, I had a pack that I had prepared earlier of rice and 1 chicken and some string beans, you know. And I did that because I had a busy day at work, and then I had to go to a meeting, and then from the meeting I had to go to the studio. And then I go to the studio, you know, so, you know, blah, blah, blah. So I ate the food as I was on my way home, and now here I am talking to you. When I finish, I will have a glass of wine and go to bed. So there, I've eaten in all of my busy schedule and that, and I have not eaten Kentucky or a burger or nothing. I have not eaten all of these things, fast food that are unhealthy. And sometimes when you are in the spiral of a work, or you are busy moving from one place to the other, it's very easy to stop at McDonald's or somewhere and buy something. No, I don't do that anymore. I always have food. Sometimes I even steal my son's food that he's prepped and packed, and I take a pack and I send him a text saying, honey, sorry, I took one of your chicken and rice or whatever it is. And that is the way to go. I'm not saying our ways are right. Everyone is trying to see the best way forward that you can mix your, or blend your busy life schedule with eating healthy, and trying as much as possible to stay healthy. To be healthy is one of those things where when you are healthy, you think you will never get sick. And when you are watching, some people are very impatient with sick people. Very impatient indeed. And then you find out that actually you too could get sick. You are not that superhuman as you think, and therefore things can happen to you, and you know, you can catch a cold which can become something else and become something else. People, so when you see sick people, they didn't make themselves sick. It just happens. And so we too should be careful not to fall into that trap. Now, someone is saying a glass of red wine a day is always the best. That is true. And to prove it, I have a glass of red wine here. I have had a sip, and I'm going to have another sip. There you go. A glass of red wine is very vital. You eat, you drink a little bit of wine, not too much. You do not drink the wine to get drunk. You drink the wine as an accompaniment for food. With food, you drink the wine when you are with friends, have a little bit. It's social, and that's how it is. You do not drink to get drunk. You do not drink to get, as we say here, legless. You do not drink to make yourself sick. It is just an accompaniment. Cheers, Lily. Yes. Now to my next thing. Missed meals. You see, I don't know what the people who miss meals are trying to prove to anyone. Or to say, oh, I've only had one meal today. I don't eat all. Me, I don't eat all. I only eat once a day. If that is good for you, then it is good for you. Some people, according to science, have found, oh, somebody wants to be on this video. I don't know. So, come on. I don't know how it's done, though. Want to not have breakfast and have lunch. That is good. You can skip something and have lunch. Some people call it fasting. If that is what you want, that is good. All of these things are important, that you have a system that suits you. Some people, I would advise that you must see your doctor before you do these things. It's very important. Hello, Makeza. It's very important. See your doctor, have a chat, decide that this is going to be good, and then do it. But anything you do, hello? Oh, the guest has gone. I had a guest coming onto this video to have a chat, and the person just went. Anyway, anybody else, if you want to come on, you can come on quickly before the time goes. Anyway, so where was I? Yes, I was talking about people who miss meals. If you want to miss a meal intentionally, that's fine. If you feel that that is the best way for you and you want to have a meal at 1 o'clock and then nothing else in the evening, that's fine. If you want to start these sort of things, you have to check with your doctor, because you need to be sure that your blood sugar is not low or too high. Whichever way, you can do what is best for you, but you have to do what is necessary for your health. Do not do food fads where somebody is doing something, so you're doing it without researching it or finding out whether it's good for you or not. Don't do that. So this is serious advice for ladies and any gentleman who wants to get involved. It's serious advice for you. Now, I'll give you a few simple tips on. I've just had a message saying snacking is not good. Grandma's advice is still. So some people don't like snacking. That's also very good. I like snacking sometimes. There are times, and I'll tell you this, it's not part of this discussion, but I'll tell you anyway, so that let's see whether other people feel the same way. One of the things that I it's a bad habit, but I've learned through life that there are times when I reward myself, especially when I'm feeling sad or something terrible happened and I'm unhappy or something. I will buy a donut and I will eat it. Or if I'm feeling a little bit delicate, or I just buy myself something and eat it. Something, something sweet. It turns out that the sugar that we eat, the sugar that we consume, is very, very dangerous. Sugar is addictive, and it is more addictive than cocaine. Sugar is one of the dangerous things in life. And I'm going to find, yes, I've got it here. I saw it and I copied it. Sugar is 8 times as addictive as cocaine. Now, what is interesting is while cocaine and heroin activate only one spot for pleasure in the brain. So, when you take in cocaine or heroin, it goes to your brain and you feel good for a short while. Sugar lights up the brain like a pinball machine. Sugar is so strong that it gives you a powerful high, and it makes you feel so good that you will want some more. So you identify. I do it. I love sweet things, and especially when I'm sad or when something happens. I remember when my mother died, I ate so many donuts, and what was naughty about it was I went out and I bought ring donuts and I brought it home, and then I made the sugar I crushed sugar itself so that it became very smooth, and I would dip the donut in it, press it flat in the sugar and eat it. Can you imagine? I needed the high. I was so sad that I needed to feel good. I need, that the blanket of love was, well, my mother wasn't there, so I was finding my own love, and it was sugar. Now, I didn't look at it that way. I was thinking it's the donut. I need the donut. But that is naughty in itself. That is dangerous. We really should not be doing that. And if sugar is that addictive, then yes, I was really addicted. And it took me years to get away from that donut thing, because if I went shopping, I would buy donuts. If I got into my car, I'd eat a donut. I would stuff and I used to enjoy the feeling of stuffing my mouth. Oh God. Even when I think of it now, I feel so guilty. And I did that for a long time, like 2 whole years or something. And then slowly I stopped. And since then, I don't think I've done it. I'm not that in love with it anymore, because I equate the sugar and the donut with comfort and the whole thing. And it took me a while to realize that my mother wasn't coming back and I really needed to get my act together. So I've shared with you something that is from my heart, from my system, and this is something which it took me ages to try and deal with. So anyway, yeah, this is what I did. I was naughty. And so sugar is dangerous. And I want you guys, all of you, whilst we are on this health kick, to realize that, yes, there are certain habits as well that we have personal to us that we may think, yes, another thing, I would eat the donut, and because I haven't eaten a proper meal, like rice and stew or plantain, whatever it is that is a proper peppery meal or something, I tell myself I haven't eaten today. Yes. That is one thing that we all do. Now, some people will not admit it, but I'm admitting it, and I know the people I do it with. Stop it. Sugar and spice and all things bright. Yes. I like sugar. I used to. I don't do it anymore. If in those days, when I drink tea, oh my word, I stuff the tea with loads of sugar. I don't do it anymore. But you see, sugar is dangerous, and sugar makes us fat. And people think that it's butter and it's this and that. No, it's sugar. Sugar has more power and makes you more fat, boo, than actual butter. Everything should be in moderation. You could still have your sugar fix if you really, really need it, because life is hard and we all go through situations, and you cannot live life without the feeling of some sweetness. And as for me, I like nice. So there are times when I think, oh God, what shall I have to? I've had a bad day. What shall I have? And then I look for something sweet and nice. Chocolate also I love, and I would do, and I'll tell you how I do it. It's horrible. I get the chocolate and I crush it sometimes, and then I fill my mouth with it, and when it's in my mouth and I'm fit, yes, it makes me feel so good. mm, I'm telling you now, I love it. All of that is not good. All of that is us killing ourselves. I'm sure because it's important, careful, and we moderate the things that we do. We do things that we do not admit to it. And it is the minute you realize that, oh my God, this habit of mine is one of the things that affects me, that's when you stop. One of the other things I used to do, and I don't know why I'm confessing to all of you today, is Coca-Cola. When I've had a bad day, I used to, I don't do it anymore. I used to stuff my fridge with Coca-Cola. The bottom part of my fridge, where the vegetables are supposed to be, is where my Coke is. And I stuff it all there. I like the little cans of Coke, and it's all there. So, maybe you've been away all day, you come back home, it's chilled and it's nice. So what I do is I break the chocolate, stuff it in my mouth, eat it. And when I finish that, I drink Coke, a whole can. I'll have a nice can of Coke. Sometimes I add ice in the summer. All of that is naughty. Naughty, 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 naughty. Because this is the slippery slope to affecting. And then I started having a knee ache. My knee, left knee, started hurting. And I would go to the doctor and he'd say, do your knee, do this, we'd have an x-ray, they can't find what's wrong with it. When I stopped drinking Coca-Cola, my knee ache stopped. It was shocking in itself. So now I equate the Coke that used to give me pleasure to now pain. I don't drink Coke because the pain in my knee was that bad. Now I am a functioning and well jumping chick. But before, it was a different story. Now, sugar is part of it. Sugar is dangerous. And this is what we should all start becoming aware of. There's a game that we're going to play. We were supposed to play it today, but we can do it next week. So and it is Change for Life, and I'll show you how to do it, but I have to do it at the radio station. So when I do it there, then we can work it out. So someone says I'm giving them a sugar rush. Yes, I lived for sugar rushes. I just look. If I went to work and I had a bad day at work, I would just go downstairs straight to the shops, get myself some chocolate. And one of the chocolates I really loved was crunchy, and I would crush it. I would sometimes if I look around and I can't find anything to crush it, I'll use my heel, crush, crush, crush it inside of the pack. And then I would open a little bit of the top of the pack of crunchy, and I would just pour it down my throat. The feeling, people, it's just too much. I can't describe it. I don't miss it now, but it was horrible from the time when I was beginning to stop. When I was trying to wean myself off it, it was really difficult because the feeling, the sugar rush was intense. And that is what I like. I like the intense feeling, the enjoyment. I've stopped it all. You can stop it too. Anything that is addictive is dangerous because then you go overboard. And if you have something that makes you go overboard, stop it. Stop it instantly. It is nice, it's a good feeling to see your children grow. It is even better to see grandchildren. I haven't got any, but I look forward to it. So all of these things made me stop. Pain made me stop. Pain, just pain. And the fear that you will lose your job, you will lose your livelihood, what can you do? You become an invalid. Why? Why? So let us look after ourselves. Let us look after ourselves. And through looking after ourselves, we look after our children. It's all good. That is how it's supposed to be. People, I've been here for an hour talking to you. I have enjoyed it and I could go on, but it's not fair because we all have things to do. And so we will talk some more next week when we will discuss diabetes and the implications of diabetes and how to try and get it out of our system or how to prevent it. I will have a guest who has studied and is an expert in diabetes. She's been on my show before and she's going to come on again and talk very well about it. People, I have to love you and leave you. I have to say bye-bye, be well, and I will have a recording of this and I will send it to all of you so that you can watch it. But don't use my weakness against me. Do not use my chocolate eating against me, please. It would just drive me to more chocolate, and I'm trying to stop. So, bye-bye, my people. Be well.